don't you blow? Oh, why don't you blow? One man to strike the bell. One man to strike the bell. Two men to man the wheel. Two men to man the wheel. Three men to gallant braces. Three men to gallant braces. Four men to furl the ganses. Four men to furl the ganses. Five men to bunt a bow. Five men to bunt a bow.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is out a couple days ago on the old generation hardware, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. And I've been playing the game for the last 2 or 3 days, and also my girlfriend has been playing the game obsessively for the last couple of days. So between the two of us, I would say we have easily 20 hours into the game since its release to now. And while I have not beat the actual campaign, I've just been playing the game and experiencing the gameplay. So I'd like to just start with that first and foremost. So as far as Assassin's Creed games go, this is by far the best one ever. And I have definitely played all of them with the exception of the handheld versions, but I am 100% positive that Black Flag is the definitive Assassin's Creed for this generation. Like, it is... If you were only going to play one Assassin's Creed, this should be it. If you quit the series a few games ago because Assassin's Creed 3 was really annoying, and I agree with you, then, you know, this is the game to basically just kind of dip your toe in the water and see if you like it, and I just can't imagine you won't like it. So as far as, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, then you'll be right at home with this game. And you'll be ecstatic with how awesome it is. It basically... I'm not even going to explain what the game is. You guys all know what it is. I'm just coming from the perspective of, is it worth buying? Is the gameplay fun? So, yes, it's worth buying, and yes, the gameplay is outstanding. And coming off of GTA 5, I stopped playing that game a couple weeks ago because the online mode was super broken, and I really was not digging it, and coming into Assassin's Creed 4, it was instantly entertaining out of the gate. You know, really all the problems that you would have had with previous Assassin's Creeds, for the most part, have been resolved, and the missions now are much more open-ended, and there's very little stuff with Abstergo and the real world, and it's just a wonderful game. Like, it's a really epic, swashbuckling adventure, and there's nothing like it. The only thing like it is Assassin's Creed, but that isn't a fair comparison because this game doesn't really feel like an Assassin's Creed game. It feels like an open-world pirate game that has Assassin's Creed mechanics and Far Cry mechanics. And that's the other thing. Ubisoft basically took the best aspects of the last few games they've released in the last couple of years and combined them into Assassin's Creed 4 to make, like, what I would imagine is Ubisoft's best game ever. Like, I can't think of a game better than Black Flag that Ubisoft has made, other than maybe Rayman 2 on the Dreamcast. But aside from that, I really can't think of anything that Ubisoft has made up until this point. So, typically I do have a honeymoon phase with games. However, I remember vividly when I played Assassin's Creed 3 that the first few hours, maybe 5 to 6 hours, kind of made my stomach churn, and it was really annoying. And honestly, Assassin's Creed 4 cuts you loose in the world in about a half an hour. Like, within a half an hour, you are in a major city and you can do whatever you want. You don't have your pirate ship yet. That'll probably take about 2 hours of gameplay if you were just to kind of go through missions. But at that point, you have your pirate ship and the world is completely open and you can really get going. And you know, there's a lot of things you can do as far as side quests, because once again, I've barely touched the main game. I've maybe spent about 3 hours in the main game, but yet I've spent 20 hours gameplay plus just dicking around. And honestly, there's so many things you could spend your money on, it's crazy. And, I mean, they brought back everything from Assassin's Creed 3 that was cool, like the homestead and tricking that out, but, like, your homestead is better, and you know, your upgrades for the Jackdaw are far more RPG and layered as far as the mechanics. And there's just a lot of things going on with the game, and almost too many to describe. So I am planning on buying this game a second time in about 2 weeks when the PlayStation 4 comes out, because honestly, I can't imagine I won't be playing this game 6 months to a year down the road. Like, I can't see that happening. Because I know myself, and I know how I was with Red Dead Redemption, and I know how I am with other open world games, and there's something about an open world game that can literally let you spend at least a year in it sometimes. And this is absolutely one of those games. And yes, I understand your reservations about Assassin's Creed. I've always felt like the series and the franchise in general had potential, but that it never lived up to its potential. Like, I've basically liked every Assassin's Creed game. However, I've always had these, like, you know, hair-pulling moments in every one of these games, you know. And I really do feel like, you know, Assassin's Creed 4 is nothing like those. It doesn't really have those hair-pulling moments because, as an example, if the game tells you to go stealthy and you screw up, you can absolutely go loud, and it's fine. Like, the game will let you just, alright, just, you know, you were supposed to go stealthy, you don't get 100%, but you get 80%, you get to continue. So it doesn't punish you for being like Rambo or being like Zorro or, you know, whatever your childhood hero of choice is. I don't care who swashbuckles or buckle swash. I don't know how to phrase it, but anyhow. One thing that I did think was really funny on a side note, actually, well, yeah, I'm getting all over the place, but yeah, I was watching my Assassin's Creed 3 review that I did last year, and literally, I said that I thought the game should be, like, completely open world ship combat, and I was questioning in that review if that would actually be entertaining to carry an entire game, and it's really nice that a year later, in theory, seeing it happen, yes, like, the naval combat from Assassin's Creed 3 in an open world environment is really, really, really entertaining, and it is super satisfying. And it is one of those games where when you turn it off, you'll be thinking about going back into the world after about a few hours of being out of it. Like, say you're going to work, or say you're going to school, or say it's been, like, you know, 8 or 9 hours, you'll be thinking about the fake Caribbean. And I just can't say enough nice things about the game, and especially coming off of Grand Theft Auto 5, which to me is a huge disappointment. So Grand Theft Auto 5 was a huge disappointment, and Black Flag was actually better than I had hoped. And my anticipation was pretty high for this game, and usually when I have that, games do not live up to that anticipation. But honestly, for a lack of a better term, believe the hype with Assassin's Creed 4, because honestly, it is a stellar game, and I do not... Honestly, I would give it Game of the Year right now as far as single-player campaign. I really don't like Assassin's Creed multiplayer, but I am positive that as of right now, 2013, and the year is pretty much over, that Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is by far my Game of the Year for single-player campaign. Like, and in fact, I'm planning on doing a generation review of, like, my favorite games of this generation, so I'm going to basically compare games for, like, the last 7 years-ish. And I was planning on having Red Dead Redemption be my single-player, you know, campaign winner. And honestly, there's a very good chance that Black Flag is going to take it. And the only reason I can't say that definitely is because I've only had it for a few days. But if I still feel as strongly about the game a month from now, when I have it on the PlayStation 4 and I'm playing it over a second time, we'll see. But how it's looking now, it would appear as though, you know, Black Flag is the Game of the Year for me, and it's definitely worth buying. If you're going to hold off for the PlayStation 4, I completely understand and admire that, but honestly, I did not have the patience. Like, I am so bad with patience, I could not wait the extra 2.5 weeks. So I bought the game on the Xbox 360, and honestly, I am having a complete blast, and I do plan on buying the game a second time, which I am not for Grand Theft Auto 5, so anyhow. I hope this review was helpful. I plan on doing more when the PlayStation 4 version of this game comes out, so I plan on doing probably like an actual movie, like, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half movie of this game's plot or something. I don't know. I'm going to do something epic, though, with this game, because the game is absolutely epic, and it deserves some really good machinima and various other things. So, alright guys, hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you later.
Fish in the sea and it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, oh, jolly southwester, boys, steady she goes, up jumps the eel with a slippery tail, climbs up aloft and reefs the topsail, and it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together. Steady she goes, and then up jumps the shark with his 9 rows of teeth, saying, "You eat the dough, boys, and I'll eat the beef." And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the